Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I'm so happy that you are here. Couple things, I have some grays that are different texture and they're driving me nuts and I hate being able to see them in the monitor. Also, my lips are a little funky because I was struggling with this lipstick and trying to get it to stay and not go everywhere. This is going to be a declutter shade because I just don't like how it applied. Anyway, today is my palette roundup. We're going to be a little crazy because I have so many face palettes that I was working on, like some duos and everything. So we have all of those. And then I also have the eyeshadow palettes that I worked on throughout the month. If you're interested, just keep watching. Let me know if you've been using any of your eyeshadow palettes, which ones are your favorite? What is your favorite eyeshadow palette or your top 5? Let me know down below and let me know how you're doing as well. All right, we're gonna go through, I'm going to show you all of the eyeshadow palettes that I used in the order, and then I will go through the ranking and try to insert some face palettes in between. We have kind of a variety because I'm getting towards the end of my palettes. So we have Sydney Grace Enduring Love. This is the original one, the light version. Then we have the Sephora and Coach collection. This is Rexy. Then two Hello Kitty quads from Colourpop. We have Cherry Sweet and Pineapple Cake. Another Coach Sephora collection. This is Sharky. Yeah, Sharky. The palettes I wore in Vegas, Under the Sea from Colourpop, as well as Natasha Denona, I Need a Warm. Then we have the Heavy Metals palette from Urban Decay, which is just shining everything around me. And then to finish it up, two more of the quads from Hello Kitty. We have Teenie, Kini, and we have Coco, Cutie. We're gonna start with some duos of blush and highlighter, or just highlighter in the case of one. So first up, we have this guy. This is Tarte Pink Champagne, and this is what it looks like. It's beautiful, very easy to use shades. This might be a good one to pan. What do we think? Then the next one is terrible packaging. This is Adoration from NARS, a very, very bright blush in there, very bright. The highlighter is beautiful though. Then we have Becca. This is Becca, and this is, what are you called? Champagne Splits. I don't know. Pretty sure this is from the Jackie, what's her face collaboration. And then Hello Halo from Wet n Wild. It's just two highlighters. So what do we have? These are the two highlighters right here, and they are very bright, shimmery highlighters. Wet n Wild has had some really nice highlighters over the years, so we have that one. Then right under that is the Becca. It is a very bold blush, but I do feel like I could move it, like go in lightly and make it spread out and not be quite as bold. Blend out a little bit. I did make this one work. It was a little scary, especially after the NARS, which is right next to it, right here. I felt like a clown. I already had pink lipstick on, and I put my pink, and I had already done my eyes, which were blue, and I was like, I feel like a clown. So this was, it was very hard to blend out. And then up here in this top, which you could probably tell is the most subtle, this is the Tarte, and oh my gosh, I really like the Tarte. This could be a candidate for, I have to figure out what I'm taking in terms of blush, bronzer, and highlighter, and also eyeshadows, obviously. But what I want to work on, I'm not going to take a ton, and I need something that's kind of subtle for teaching, and maybe that's a good one. There's a couple other things that I'm thinking of. So let me know, like, kind of thinking of my collection, like, should I do a single blush and try to work on it? Should I do a palette? Should I do a duo? So of these, the Tarte, I am definitely keeping. It is beautiful. I'm also, but the other ones I'm on the fence. So I had question marks for Adoration. I love that highlighter. It's so pretty. So maybe I'll keep it for the highlighter. And the highlighters from Wet n Wild, they are very, very bold. Do I want to keep them? Do I need them? The same with the Becca. I just have questions. So let me know if you think I should keep them or try to pass them along to a friend. Let me know what your thoughts are. So I will admit I didn't take any notes this month. Usually I'm writing down notes for each of these palettes as we're going. So we're just going off of the vibes and what I kind of remember here on August 2nd as I'm filming. But I do know number 10, easy to pick. This is the Coco Cutie from Hello Kitty. Obviously, it's because it's blue. And I'm not the biggest fan of blue, so we're putting it in last place. I just felt like, kind of like a clown, like I said, especially with that bright blush. I thought that would blend out more easily. So that one is there. I do like the shimmers work really well. The mattes are very bold, so a little goes a long way, and it's very easy to overdo it on that one. This one, I just felt, I don't know. This one and this is Cherry Sweet. Cherry Sweet and the Teenie Kini could go either way, I kind of feel, but I just felt like I wasn't crazy about this earlier in the month when I wore it. This was the first half of the month, so it's a little rusty, but like they're very pretty. I like the shimmers. I feel like they go on well. It's just the color story, I feel like, is hard with everything so similar. We have two palettes this time. First up is the Tartiste Pro Glow to Go. This is one that I'm thinking about trying to pan. I thought about it in the spring actually, but I have pretty big divots. I don't know if you can tell. So I thought maybe at least the bronzer I could pan and then take this and try to work on the highlighters. I feel like there are not too much that I could get away with them for teaching during the day. So that's another consideration I have. And then the other one is the Wet n Wild Tea Anyone face palette from the Alice in Wonderland collection. I love this. So I have them all like separately, but then I also have them when they're all together. That's what it looked like. And I think that's what I did with mine, is I just kind of swirled it around. And so this one will take a while to pan because it is quite large, but I don't think it's too deep. So maybe that could be something I do want to work on. I have two cream bronzers, and so those are going to be another priority that I want to work on, finish at least one of those this fall. In 8th and 7th place, we have my other two quads from Hello Kitty. So here we go. Like I said, Teenie Kini, maybe the pink one I should have done a little bit above this one so they could be interchangeable, but hard to do a look with these. I just felt like we got some similar shades going on as they're being swatched, and they've worked fine. I just don't love the color story. This was a little easier of a color story to work with, and I could bring in a brown, like neutral tone for my crease and make some better looks, I felt like, with this than with some of the other shades. I was using the same shadow with all of them. So yeah, we're gonna put Pineapple Cake in 7th place. They're good. They're just not my favorite and not ones I necessarily want to reach for. Next up, we have two more for Wet n Wild. These are quads from their collaboration with My Melody and Kuromi. So the 50th anniversary of My Melody and 20 years of Kuromi. This is My Melody over here. They're very, very light. I said it was okay. It's not something I'm going to really wear. I don't love how they turned out, how they look on the skin. They're a little, I don't want to say they're chunky, but like they leave like a glittery kind of, they're almost like a topper. So we have Kuromi as well, super cute. And those are the more purple and blue. These are just going to go into my collection to save for display, just because they are cute. But yeah, not necessarily ones that I would want to wear on a regular basis, but were fun enough for the summer. In sixth place is Sharky from the Coach and Sephora collection. Now, the only reason why this is lower is because of the color story. I think the quality is really good, and my swatches are going to be a little small because I was trying to not dip in there too much and disturb the beautiful flower patterns in there. But I don't wear a lot of cool tones a lot of the time, so it's a little bit lower because of that. But the quality, they are so soft, they are blendable, they have a little bit of a punch to them in terms of the two shimmers. It's just a really nice palette, and I wish they haven't done, I don't feel like they've done a collection for a while, but I do really like their collaborations with designers. I feel like they've done well. We have more face duos. So starting with Wayne Goss, this is the Radiance Boosting Face Palette, Light Gold and Bronze and Sculpt. So we have those. These are down here. These two right here. They're pretty good. They're not what I would normally think of, but pretty good. Then also down at the bottom, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, and they are over on this side, much more subtle in terms of shades, but also very pretty. So far, these are all keeps. And the blushes are also keeps. So we have from MAC, this is one of their Nutcracker Sweets. This is in Tutu and At Dusk. And I loved this collection. They're over here. That blush is pretty light, which I really enjoy. But one of the girls that I used to dance with was part of the campaign for this, and she went around to all different stores dancing, dressed up as a ballerina. I mean, she was a ballerina. And then we have this one from Charlotte Tilbury, a little bit more bold, but definitely going to keep it as well. This is the Hollywood Blush and Glow Glide palette. So yes, all of those, they're staying. We have the Urban Decay Heavy Metals palette. Yes, I'm covering it up because there's a big mirror right there. And so we're just gonna swatch one side at a time because there are 20 shades in this palette. These are probably the shades that I like the most. I had never touched this before this month, and I did wear it 5 days because I was trying to get as many shades as possible. I did feel like I didn't make an entire look out of this. I used it kind of like for just the lid and used about two shades, maybe 3, just for a lid look, and it's very pretty. I did enjoy it. Look at those shimmers. Ooh, very nice. Okay, the second half, I didn't use quite as many of these shades, but I did get a couple of the purples in there, and this kind of grungy silver. Didn't use the silver, but that is very pretty. Like I said, definitely it's a keep, and it's in 5th place because they do work really well. But without any mattes, this is not a standalone palette. This palette has been through one of my reviews before, so we're just gonna glance over it. But this is what I took to Vegas. This is the Precious Gems Amazonian Clay Cheek Palette, and you have 5 blushes and a bronzer. This is one that I was thinking about potentially working on as a pan because there are so many blushes in here, but I don't know. I mean, I know the bronzer I can go through pretty quick, but the rest of them, do I want to use this? I don't know. I mean, they're nice. They're nice. They're good blushes. We are back with another eyeshadow palette. This one is in 4th place. It is the Enduring Love palette from Sydney Grace. I'm not going to turn it all the way because one of these is loose and I don't remember which one it was, and I don't want to lose it. So, well, there we go. That's what it looks like. We'll tilt it a little bit more. Very pigmented colors. A lot of dark tones. That's one thing that as I was going, I was like, man, there's a lot of dark tones. So probably not the best for July, but I didn't want to take it on a trip with me. So there we go. We have some nice tones of the mattes in there that are kind of mid-tone, but then a lot of the darker shimmers. There are 15 shades in there. It's very pretty. I think they did a really nice job with it. I wish my one shade wasn't going to fall out. I need to glue it back in, but I haven't because I haven't found like, I haven't looked for glue. And then, you know, like if you want to put super glue and then you waste the entire tube of super glue because it always dries out before you need it again. So yeah, that's why it's in 4th place. Okay, we next have Rouge Romance from Jaclyn Cosmetics. Jaclyn, whatever her last name is, I don't know. I never followed her, so, but this, I don't know why I ordered this, but I did, and it's very pretty. You have 6 shades in there. I do really like what I saw with this palette. This one is a little too much, but the other 5, I really did enjoy having them as blushes, and I thought it was a really nice one. So, but it's discontinued. I mean, most of the stuff is old, but yeah, they did have some nice stuff. In 3rd place, we have the Colourpop Under the Sea palette from The Little Mermaid, and here's what all the swatches look like. This one's a little tricky. It's kind of a chunky glitter, a little bit, definitely not smooth. Would not want to wear it on my eyes. I don't think I did end up using it. I know I used like this, and I was trying to use some of the blues when we went to the Backstreet Boys because everybody's like blue and white. Not my colors. So I have no desire to go back and try to relive the 2000s, like, or the 90s. It's fine. Like, I'm an adult. I don't want to be a teenager again. So, well, preteen teenager. Yeah. So very nice. I do enjoy it. Not my favorite. I feel like, you know, you got a couple that are more like toppers, like this blue and that one. They're pretty, they're nice, they're soft. I will say that about them. But is it my favorite? No. I also worked on my Blush Bazaar palette from Tarte. So in here we have 10 pans, 8 are blush and 2 are highlighter. There we go, kind of so you can see both of them. I did swatch all of them. The highlighters are very subtle down here at the bottom of my wrist. Very pretty. I liked that I could build them up if I wanted to. They were not as pigmented as some of the ones that I showed earlier on. Very nice. Not one I want to pan anytime soon, but I'm glad that I got some use out of it. In 2nd place is my Rexy palette from Sephora and Coach, and it's a very nice palette. I love the color story in here. It's not overly, he's a little hard sometimes with the way he is. So I really like the color story. I like the way that they go on. It just was a really nice palette, and I felt like I got some really nice kind of everyday neutral-ish looks, but not too stuffy, if that makes sense. I don't know, just really nice, and glad to have him. And like I said before, they did some really nice collaborations when they did some stuff with the designers, so they should do that again. Okay, next up we have 2 palettes, face palettes. So this is Cue the Confetti from Lorac. This is one that I'm kind of on the fence about. I do have a question mark whether I should keep it or not. So you have 3 blushes and a really kind of dark highlighter. So that's these ones there. And I just don't know if I want to keep it or not. I'm leaning towards maybe letting it go. So let me know your thoughts. Like, what do you think? And then the other one is the Tarteist Pro Glow. Why is that so hard to say? And there is a cream bronzer in here, which did not swatch well. And then I have the 4 highlighters and then a powder bronzer. And so I am going to keep this for now. I do want to try to maybe at least the bronzers get out. I don't know. That's where we are. I'm exhausted. Like, I have just one more palette to do, and I'm so glad that I'm so close to the end. Okay, we're finally to the end. Oh, finally, this was a very long video to film. So we have Natasha Denona, I Need a Warm. It is my #1 palette. It is absolutely beautiful. I loved every look that I did. I love these shimmers in here. Oh my gosh, they are so good. You have this one, I don't think, oh, it kind of, you got like a duochrome going and there a little bit. This one right here. But they're just so nice, and especially like this shimmer, and just every time I put the shimmer on, I just felt really pretty with it, and I really did enjoy the looks that I created with it. So Natasha Denona, I Need a Warm, #1. You probably could have figured that out from the beginning of this video. So that is all of the palettes that I wore in July. August is going to be less intense because I'm doing face and eye palettes together. I'm not trying to like test out as many palettes as possible. I tend to do that when I'm here, wear a different blush or a different bronzer every day just to cycle through them. And I'm only going to be here for half the month, and then I'll be back at my place, and what I can take in on the airplane is going to be limited. But also most of the palettes that I have left that I haven't talked about in this series are face and eye palettes. So we're going to start working on those in August and September. I don't know if I want to continue doing stuff in October or November, or just wait till the new year and take a little break from this. Anyway, let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you've been wearing lately. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I can't wait to talk to you next time. Bye.